I posted earlier today, September 21st, 2025, a new blog post discussing my trades over the past few days. My post can be found by clicking South Gent, and that will take you to my profile page that has the link to my blogs. After checking the recent auction prices of my vintage baseball card collections, which I discussed in my last YouTube video, I've decided to classify those cards as an investment rather than in the out of sight, out of mind category, which is where they have been most of the time over the past 70 plus years. I discussed some of the cards in item number 7 of that post. I included a snapshot of my 1958 Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays cards in that post. I quit collecting baseball cards around 1964, but did buy a few when attending a card show in Nashville many years ago. I was there to secure an autograph of Joe DiMaggio, and I did do that, and here it is right there as he signed it along his leg. DiMaggio was the only person at that event that was dressed in a suit. He was impeccably dressed, as I believe he almost always was when attending any kind of public event. The value of this signed picture may be around $200. He signed a lot of pictures after retiring from baseball. Many of the baseball stars from the 1940s and 50s and probably into the 60s may have made more money signing memorabilia during their retirement and public appearances than they were paid by owners back then. I read a story that Mickey Mantle took a $7,000 pay cut to $65,000 after winning the Triple Crown in 1957. At some point in that same time period, I acquired a number of autographed baseballs, including one signed by Mantle, Mays, Aaron, Koufax, and many others. And this is the assigned baseball picture that I have of Mickey Mantle. This one may be worth $2,000. It has an unsigned certificate of authenticity from Sports Authority, who says that they certify its authenticity. It looks like Mantle's signature. That's all I can say about it. If I could have a 5-second conversation after looking at my baseball cards again, I would, with my young self, meaning 7 to maybe 12, I might say something like, quote, take better care of your Mantle cards, end of quote. Or better yet, buy the S&P 500, which was around 20 when I was born. Of the Mantle cards that I own, which have not been graded, this 1958 Mantle card is probably the one that has survived in the best condition. And it's also, unlike many of the other 1958 Topps baseball cards that I have, it has a good centering and it's not cut too low at the top as many of them are. At some point, as I said, I acquired many autographed baseballs, and the one from Mantle that I have was this is it. See, you got a signature on it, but it also has a authentication stamp from Upper Deck there, and I've got a Upper Deck certificate of authenticity that has the stamp on it. That card, I mean, that baseball might sell for over $2,000. I was surprised when I looked at some of the prices for mantle sign autographed baseballs that were authentic. I doubt if I paid more than $50 to $100 for it when I bought it. Probably in the early 1980s when I was buying some signed baseballs and signed autographs. I was a big Koufax fan when I was 14, and I managed to destroy most of my Koufax cards, although I'm going to send in a good one that I have that was undamaged from 1958 to be graded later on. My parents allowed me to fly to Los Angeles when I was 14 by myself so that I could watch Koufax pitch in a game. I was that devoted to it. My uncle Mont was a professor at Pepperdine University, which was then located near the Watts neighborhood in Los Angeles, and he picked me up at the airport. What made an impression on me as we drove from the airport to his home near Pepperdine is that we went through the Watts neighborhood in Los Angeles. And what made an impression on me that is still seared in my mind's eye is that Watts looked like it had been in a war zone, and that was shortly after the 1965 riots or rebellion, according to how you characterize it, according to your own perspective, I suppose, on such matters. I do not remember whether Koufax won or lost the game, or even who they played. I remember Watts clearly as it looked back then after the riots or rebellion. In my post published today, I discussed selling 14 more $1,000 par value investment grade corporate bonds. And I've been selling a lot of first mortgage bonds that are fairly safe or are more safe than most of the ones I own. Those are issued by utility operating companies that are owned by the publicly traded major U.S. utility companies. I realized a $522.69 gain from those sales. The snapshots of the gains are in the post. I have now sold 118 investment grade $1,000 par value bonds that mature in 2032 or later since mid-July 2025, and the concern there is interest rate risk. I have locked down selling corporate bonds maturing in 2031 or sooner. Those bonds have acceptable to me interest rate risk at my age and financial condition, and will be important sources of income for me over the next 6 years. They will also likely go up in price as the Fed cuts more, assuming there is no material change in the credit risk of those bonds.